Right. And now you're in my mastermind group, and I'm charging you $100,000 a year to coach you. If only you'll do what I say.
And I'm so grateful.
Exactly.
And we knew.
Right.
And we knew this moment.
Exactly. Oh my God. Are we filming? Or are we just like...
No, we're just hanging. No, we're just hanging out. Oh my gosh, it's gorgeous.
It's gorgeous, yeah. Mexico, you know, I've actually never had a relationship with Mexico, and I lived in LA for so long. It just, I popped in once, and I've maybe gone 3 times in my life. This trip has sort of changed my idea and relationship with Mexico.
Yeah. So it's really more about Mexico than yoga.
Actually, they work together.
Oh, they do. They do. That's what. Shelly, I was like, well, the mastermind group will have to do a special retreat this summer for the yoga health coach mastermind group. And Shelly's like, no, because it has to be in Mexico. I'm like, oh, okay. Now I know how yoga health coaches feel about the
Totally.
Mexico retreat. Yeah.
For sure. And I think, but there is something about warmth, sun, water, paddleboarding that does some work in the chiseling away of the outer layer, the kind of, you can soften into the work quicker. Because the elements, I don't know, as opposed to like a little breathing.
Well, that was the thing, right in the beginning, like learn directly from the, like let the elements teach you directly instead of in support. Yeah. It is easier, yeah.
And because there's a lot of challenges personally in yoga health coaching with just, you know, the intensity of the material. And so when you lose trust in yourself, there is a sense of trust when you lean into the elements. Like, oh right, there's a bigger force to support you that can sort of buttress your trust.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, I don't have to do it all myself. It'll work out because all this worked out.
Yeah.
The universe worked out intelligently.
Intelligently, yeah. Totally. I feel like like that's that level of coach creativity, right? Where it's like I have this idea. I'm gonna make up this yoga health coaching thing, right? And now I think there's at least 75 people in the program becoming certified yoga health coaches. So now it's like a career. And one of the things that I got from this retreat is like when we come together and we really dive deep and we have a breakthrough that's so at all levels of our being and our dharma, and we have really a shift in integrity with like who we are, who we know ourselves to be, and what the next level of our work in the world is. One of the things that I really saw emerge was the niching. You know, like we all teach the same 10 habits, right? And we all like we have a more or less just a solid baseline curriculum, and then what I'm starting to see is that these other programs are coming out of, like, once we have that, once my students have that, then we can do this. But that, I feel like, is the big breakthrough of yoga health coaching, is saying, like, we all need these 10 habits. We need them integrated yesterday. We're going to do it today. Like, we're working on this now. And then once we have that, then we can really go and launch, you know, off from that.
The foundation is set.
The foundation is set.
Laying the foundation.
Yeah.
Also, just experiencing my own transformation in my ability to listen and my ability to coach from day 1 of the retreat to the last day of the retreat. There was such a, for me, and I think for everyone actually, there's such a palpable, quick transformation that it reminds us as coaches how accelerated a transformation can be. Like, I just saw it. I just saw it in myself and everyone else in just 5 days. So it's like, wow, transformation is possible. It can be quick. And now we have tools from this retreat to even remind us that transformation is possible. And that's what we want to give our clients.
Yeah.
That's what we want. This is what we want to give to our future clients, our present and our future clients.
You know, and that's something, I mean, I see it so much in the retreat. I see it personally. from myself, from Winston being in the retreat, my husband, from each of the 18 people who flew in for it, and like really each person is so deeply shifted. And I see in the work when people are really reflecting being a yoga health coach in their community, local or virtual, the results that people are getting, and we're like hearing these results from this yoga health coach or that yoga health coach, and they're just like crying, describing the results that their students are getting from them becoming a powerful, deep listening yoga health coach with, really great coaching, really great guidance, instruction, wisdom, group transformation.
And it's so much more than just the habits.
And it's so much more than the habits.
I mean, the habits are the gateway. That's like what we're coaching. And I've just from putting groups through, I realize it's the habits are what we're diving into, and there's just opening up a whole deeper layer of stories, transformation. It's pretty incredible. The list of habits may seem unimpressive.
It's very unimpressive.
It's unimpressive.
It looks kind of annoying. Like, oh, I don't really want to do that one.
Exactly, and like, am I really paying you for that? Or I'm doing that one already.
Oh yeah.
I'm doing 4 of them already.
Oh yeah, I've got it down. I've got it down.
And then when we actually talk about the science of habit change and what it brings up with the family dynamic, if you're with a family, it's so multi-dimensional.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, this stuff is deep, deceivingly.
It's
deceivingly
well,
deep.
because part of it is also the group structure of like how do you bring a group of people who otherwise, if working on their own, will only be able to go at this pace, and how do you bring a group together so that everybody can go at this pace,
right,
and go into really an entirely other level than they would have been able to go. And we know the differential of like, well, that's when you try to keep doing this on your own, and this is when you come to my group, and I know what I'm doing, and I know how groups work, and I know how to motivate groups, and really plug a deeper energy into this whole process, and then like the results we're getting it's amazing. It makes me like such a like proud mama bear of like
totally. The groups work. Most of what we did in this retreat is group work. It was all group work with some journaling in between. It's like, oh right, the group thing works.
I talked a bit. I kind of did a little.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. It's all group work, and then we
work.
basically debriefed.
Right.
You know, all the things that were moving and happening. But you're right. It was all
group work, and it was so the accountability and the help and the reflection. And the ideas that I could never come up with my own. When I think I have all the ideas, I'm like, I've exhausted all the ideas. And he's like, oh, how about da-da-da? And I'm like, how did I not think of that myself?
Yeah. Well, and that really speaks to this community, like this yoga health coaching as a community, which I mean, like, these things happen, and I'm like, okay, this is what's happening, and I'm like, let's contain this, and what do we really want as yoga health coaches as we create this, because it's very successful. It's very it's successful for the coaches to open new income streams. It's incredibly successful for them working with their clients at deeper levels. And then it's like, what's like just filling in to like the capacities. We start really waking up to this as a career path and as really a launching pad for the people that are very, just like, wow, I get it.
And without sacrificing Dharma, and in fact, Dharma is a huge part of it. Like expressing your gift in the world, like shouting your gift out, standing in your integrity of your personal Dharma, and realizing deeply that it's okay to assign value to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And not is it only okay, it's necessary.
Yeah, otherwise the value can't be exchanged. Yeah. And wasn't it cool to see how each coach is so different and serves totally different target audiences?
Yeah.
It's like there could never really be competition. You know what I mean? Because people are like, oh, there's already a yoga health coach in my town, like that's starting now.
Right.
Right?
Exactly.
But it's like,
they're not doing this.
They're not, well, yeah, and like even if there were 10 of you, you wouldn't be serving the same people. Like, or you haven't done the work. You haven't done your real work to find out who you really are and who you're really serving, if you think you're serving the same people.
Right. And if you yourself are serving, let's say, 60 people in a year, do you know how many people are on the planet?
Right.
That's like 1.0.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
It's not even.
So it's like,
Yeah.
abundance consciousness all the way. There's no competition,
Yeah.
especially for the level of knowledge that we're getting and skills and this specific thing that we're doing. I haven't seen anything like it. So thank you for like being a futurist and masterminding this whole creating this whole thing, this visionary, pioneering really.
So where do you sense it's going, just in closing? I just would love to hear, because that was kind of how we started this, is like, because I'm just starting to get a sense of it. I mean, that's what's so fun about really creating something with a group of people, where I don't pretend to have this whole thing all figured out. I mean, I have a lot of unique skills I bring, which is why I think it's been very successful.
Right.
And why the coaches are succeeding.
Right.
Really in terms of getting the results they want, financially and for their students, and even just further deeper dharma. That's what it's so much more about. What we've seen is like a much deeper alignment in their life. It's like, I'm just curious.
Well, certainly in sort of intangible number of people enrolling, so there's like the number of coaches, which will definitely keep expanding. I think because you're so great at like seeing what needs to be tweaked and fixed and being so open to feedback and incorporating that so that it just gets more efficient and everything starts to make more sense year after year. Not even that long.
Right.
It just becomes better.
So
it just
fast.
becomes better. And knowing that at some point when all great projects start with one person, that one incredible project begins to get much bigger than the creator itself, the person who created it, and then it becomes, how can you facilitate,
What's trying to happen
expansion?
Here. Yeah.
Instead of trying to control it from the top, like this is mine, it's like, no, it's so much bigger. How can we facilitate expansion?
And that's what I've heard so much, just in closing, that from when I put it out there to the yoga health coaches, I'm like, this is yours.
Right.
And so and I can help fund it,
Right.
which is great.
Support it.
And support it and listen and plug in the people and the technologies and, what do we want to do with this, right? Because you and I both know I'm not really a yoga health coach.
Right.
Right. So it's like...
Income impact coach. Right?
I'm the income impact coach. So it's like, and just hearing from people like, I can help form something. Lorelei said this morning, she's like, this is the first time I've been like really part of a group, like with all parts of myself, where I want to show up and help and form it. But like I'm in this, I've never been in such,
right.
Like it's never aligned in an organization ever.
Right.
And this is like, I'm home, and I want to see what we can all do together, and that's really,
it's real community. It's real community spirit, cool spirit.
It's fun to not know, but to be in it,
Yeah.
Be all in.